Hello and welcome to this video. This is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee. I have this lovely little card to share with you today. This uses items I got free in Sale-a-bration because we're in the middle of Sale-a-bration at the moment. So for every qualifying order you get to choose a free item from the Sale-a-bration catalogue. And this is a card we actually made recently in my online card club that I host in my Facebook group. So we get together once a month to craft together, and this is one of the cards we made. So I thought I would share it with you today. So let's get started. I've done a lot of die cutting in preparation. This card base is also a free item I got in Sale-a-bration. It comes in a pack of 20. You get 10 of this pool party colour and 10 of the soft seafoam colour. Now these are American sized card bases, just so you know. And I've done, as I said, I've done a lot of die cutting, so I'll show you the dies I used. I used this die to create our green hill. This die so this is the basic borders die. This is the elephant's die, and I used these little grass tufts, as you can see here, to create the grass. And then I used this die, and this die I also got free in Sale-a-bration, and this is the tree lots die, and I used that for everything else, basically for the camper van, for the little sign, and for the pole here. Okay, so let's start to put all of this together now. First though, we're going to do some sponging. So I've got my sponge daubers that I keep in this little case, and I'm going to sponge initially in Pool Party. So I'm going to sponge the edge of my card, and this will just make everything stand out a bit better. So get some ink on this and just going to go around and just sponge. I don't need to go all the way to the bottom because of course the green border will take care of that. So just part way down the sides. Okay, and you can make it as defined or not defined as you choose, but that's what I'm doing now. So that's the Pool Party. So close that up, and then I've got some old olive. I'm going to move that aside and bring in my green border. Here's my green hill. And I'm just going to again sponge the edges of my hill, as you can see here, just so it stands up against the background nicely and pops. I'm just going to do all the way around, not being too precise or caring. Just want to get some colour on there, like that. And then I'm going to find all of my little green bits, my green what you call these things, tufts, and I'm just going to add willy-nilly some colour just to give some variation. I'm not being, as you can see, very precise or anything, just adding some colour here and there. Okay, and that's my sponging done. So close those up, move those aside for now. And then let's do some stamping, the last bit of inky stuff. I'm going to use this stamp set called Party Puffins, and this one says Happy Birthday, and I've got a 2-inch piece here of basic white, and we're just going to stamp in Real Red, which is this one here, and we're just going to try and get it sort of centered, not that concerned. That will do for me. Close that up, put all of that aside. Excuse me. We're ready to assemble. Bring back a card base, so now I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to use just some Tombow. on the back here, and this just allows me to have a little bit of wriggle room to get things lined up. As best as I can. Something like that. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because we're going to start to build our camper van. Now the base of my camper van is red, and I've cut it out 3 times. Once in blue and once in black. And then I've cut out some extra little pieces here. And we're basically going to paper piece, I should say, our camper van together. You have some spare pieces. You could have made these curtains red or black. I've made them blue, so it's up to you. So that's going to be my base. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my scissors out, and I want this little piece at the end, this whatever you call it, the thing that sticks in the ground, or the toe piece rather I should say. I want this to be black. So we're just going to cut that off our black piece and adhere it to our red and just line it up like that. Okay. And the next thing I want from here is the door. I don't think you can see, well, you can sort of see there that it's embossed where the door is. There's an embossed line, and I'm going to follow that round and just cut with my scissors that piece off for the door, and I'm also going to cut the wheel off, and then we're finished with those pieces. You can keep them for another project. Look, too many bits sticking to me. I've got Tombow on my fingers. Okay, so let's put some glue on the back of here. And just line it up so it fits in nicely like that. And then the wheel is the same, a little bit of glue. Enough as good as a feast. Just like that. And then these pieces fit in. I cut this out of soft suede. I should have told you the colours actually. The base colour here is real red, and obviously I've used basic black. And the green I used, I don't know if I said, was Old Olive. And this colour is soft suede. It's basically all just scraps that I've got here. Tons and tons of my scraps. So this is a great way to use, another way to use up your scraps. Now this die, the Tree Lots die, is a freebie during Sale-a-bration with a qualifying order, and it actually matches a stamp set in the annual catalogue called Trees for Sale or Tree something like that, and it's a Christmassy set, but I wanted to use it in a non-Christmassy way, so that's exactly what I've done. So now I want to put a little bit behind these windows, and I've got some So Saffron here, and I'm just going to cut a little piece just to tuck behind my window so it looks like there's a little bit of light there. Well, that's my plan anyway. So pull that there. There we go. That's what we've got so far. Now I'm going to get a pencil out, and this piece of blue is what came out of this window here. So I'm going to fit it back in again, making sure it's the right orientation. It is. And I'm just going to draw some curtains. So I'm going to draw my one side here, of curtain, and I want the other side to be the same, so all I'm going to do is draw here on the one side, and we've got a piece like that, and then I'm going to flip it over and draw on the other side. And then we're going to fit our pieces back into our window. So now let's put a little bit of glue, and just take your time doing this. I think it's quite fun. Maybe you disagree, but I like it. And just fitting them in. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle almost. Okay, I don't know, the camera cut off, so I don't know how much it showed you, but I've put my little camper van together, and we were just putting the blue curtains on, which I've done. So now I'm just going to cut the little blue dot that came in the centre there. I'm going to cut that in half, sort of. And if my Tombow will comply, we are just going to put a little bit of glue, obviously on my finger as well. I should have brought my tweezers up with me, but this would have made it much easier, but I didn't. And there we've put our little camper van together, as you can see. So let's move this aside and start to layer up our card. I cut this little pole, so let's stick this down. I'm sorry if you can hear any noises, I've got the window open, but it's quite warm here. I have, mainly because I have so many lights on top of me as I film. So I'm going to put that little pole there, and let's pop our camper van up on some dimensionals like that. Take these backings off, and then where should we put this? Maybe like that again. Get rid of those bits, and let's do our grass, and then we can eventually do our sign. So let's put some of this grass, and I'm just going to put some glue along the bottom of the grass so the top bits do sort of fluff up. And I cut out 6 tufts of grass, so I've got plenty here to do whatever I wish with. Just going to put them along the edge here. I think I have one more, so I think I'm going to have 2 groups, one of 3 and one of 2, so that makes 5, which I prefer an odd number. Just like that. And then get rid of our Tombow, and I'm going to firstly check which side I've got, because they do give a little embossed. Now last time I wrote the sign in black and I don't think it came out, so I'm going to write it this time in white, the sign. I'm just going to say camp. So I'll let that dry for a second, and I'm going to add some little white details on my van, on my camper van. Just where the handle is, I'm going to put, and just here for the hubcap, just a little bit of white too. Really brightens it up. Set that aside, bring in our sentiment, and I'm going to cut this down, so you don't want it to be so long. That'll do. And then I'm going to pen at the end using the Banner's Pick a Punch. So I cut this piece down to 3/4 of an inch, so it fits nicely in the punch like that. Get rid of that, and I'm going to have this up on dimensionals as well. And then I'm going to get some of my linen thread, if I can find the end. I was using it just now. How can the end just disappear? Never understand that. Here it is. Just take a little bit. And then I'm actually going to, I did it differently last time, but this time I'm actually going to wind it round this piece here. And then bring it up to somewhere like that. And what's it going to do? It's going to look like this little banner is floating like a balloon. So I'm just going to take it behind, I think, and it's going to look like it's floating along like that. Okay, and while I've got my scissors, I'm just going to cut off any excess that I've got here. I've got a little bit of excess along the base as well. I didn't get things totally lined up. It's not a problem, just cut it off like that. And then our camping sign, I'm just going to put up on dimensionals. Yeah. And I'm just going to have that in the grass there. Something like that. And that is our card made. So I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. As I said, all the information about this project will be on the blog post on my website. And the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.